Hi, students. Welcome to an episode of History's Calling. Where will it take you? Today, we are talking with Pam Peterson. Hi, Pam.
Hello.
I'm so excited to introduce all of you to Pam because she just had a remarkable experience as part of her degree. And so, Pam, I was thinking before we get started with questions, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, as a young adult out of high school, I first went to college and actually graduated with an associate's in nursing and got my registered nursing degree and used that to help get my husband through school. I have 6 kids, and when my youngest went to kindergarten, I didn't want to be home alone, so I started back into school to get a bachelor's and feel like I didn't really choose the family history degree. I feel like it chose me and felt like that's what I needed to do. So I went to school for 13 years and took 1 or 2 classes at a time. Sometimes I had big callings in the church, and so I took a semester break or whatever, but I loved it because I was doing school with the kids. And after 13 years, I finally was able to graduate.
I bet that feels so good.
Oh my goodness, yes. I was so ready.
That's amazing. Congratulations. And you
Thank
just
you.
recently graduated too, correct?
I did, yeah. Well, it'll actually be official in August. I walked in April with my 4th son, so we graduated together, which was really awesome.
Oh, that is so cool. So I wanted to talk a little bit with you about your coursework in family history, particularly your internship, because I don't know if a lot of students know that that is embedded in the program, and it's embedded in the program because this program is very practical in nature. You can take a lot from it. So can you tell us maybe a little bit about the process for getting your internship, and then how your major prepared you for that internship?
Okay, the process was awesome. I just was encouraged to talk to Allison, who is the history internship coordinator, and she is fabulous to work with. She just asked me what my interests were and my major, and I told her that I was planning on being accredited in British research. And so she knew that, I guess in the past, that the Society of Genealogists in London had internship or had done internships. And so she reached out to them, and this is like at the middle of COVID, and we didn't even know if it was going to open up where I could come, but they said, yes, we would love to have an intern either remotely or in person if you can make that happen. And so then Allison kind of turned it over to me, and so I just kept in touch with them. And finally, so we had planned a remote internship actually, and then BYU opened up for in-person, and so I was able to actually go over there, which was amazing.
And how long were you there? Were you there for a couple of weeks? Were you there for a month or 2?
Well, my husband went with me, and so we were there for 6 weeks. And I know I didn't want to stay. I could have done the internship for 6 weeks there, but they were okay with me doing an internship for 3 weeks in person. So the other 3 weeks that I was in England, we just toured and I went to my family's parishes and was able to go to churches where their events had happened, and it was incredible. And then I did the last 3 weeks remotely, which was actually an interesting experience as well. I feel like the classwork, the coursework, really prepared me for what I did at the society. And a lot of the things that I did do was working with things that I had learned in my courses, but I also learned so much more, which just built on what I had already learned. And so that was a really great experience to be able to use it and not be afraid that everything was going to be brand new, but then yet be able to have new experiences and come away with even more than I went with. It was really awesome.
So can you fill us in a little bit on the day-to-day of what that internship looked like? And maybe the days were different, but can you give us a little insight into what you were asked to do there?
Sure. So I went in every day. I took the bus into the thing with the Society of Genealogists was they were actually had just moved from their original facility, which was a huge library, and the place that they were supposed to move to fell through, and so they were in an interim facility. And so it was not a typical internship, and they were always apologizing, but I loved being in that interim because I learned so much about how a society works, and they were trying to build it up. Anyway, so my day was probably a little different than maybe what others experienced, but I think it was great. So I went in every day, and the volunteer coordinator there had me working every day with a different aspect of the society. So I actually worked with like software engineers. They kind of showed me what they did. I went to meetings with them, and I worked with the librarian who deals with all of their holdings. And I worked with the genealogist, of course. And she had me doing things that my coursework really helped me work on. And then I also she had me, the volunteer coordinator also had me doing some other work because they had to put all of their holdings into an archives, into not an archive, but I guess it's kind of an archives to keep everything healthy, and all of the a storage unit, I guess is what they called it. So that they had this storage unit that they were planning on keeping their holdings in. And so I was helping her as well with looking through the digital images and making sure everything had transferred. Anyway, so she had me working with someone every day different, which was really good to not get bored at all. And then I was able to see what each aspect and discipline of the society did and how it all interlocked and interchanged, together, which was really interesting. I had no idea.
What was something that took you by, I'm sorry to interrupt, I'm just curious. Was there something that kind of took you by surprise as you were kind of integrating all these different things together?
Well, yeah, several things. First of all, if I ever had gotten on on a website for a society, I would get onto the online things. That's all I really dealt with was what online collections did they have. But in this way, with the things that I was learning, I realized they have a lot of training and tips and hints. And and then the aspect of the software engineers trying to put together indexes. I had no idea all that it takes to try to get collection searchable. What does that mean? For a genealogist, it's like, well, you just put what you need and then, it goes through the indexes, but there is a lot of work. And the same thing with the librarian. I didn't realize how much a librarian does in a society and having to organize. I help her with inventories and organizing the move, and which was great because then I saw all of the collections that they had and all the books and was able to understand really what a society has to offer. It was amazing.
That's amazing. And I'm so sorry I cut you off earlier. Did you have any other thing that you wanted to say about what your day-to-day looks like? I am so sorry.
Don't be, no.
That's really amazing. So it sounds to me like you got to touch a lot of different pieces of genealogy. But is there anything that you wish that you would have known before your internship that maybe could have helped a little bit more? Or do you feel like the experience itself just lended to that kind of learning?
That's a super interesting question because honestly, I'm glad I didn't have any expectations because I felt like I went in without those expectations. And that I just feel like I went in with an open mind. I was willing to do whatever they needed me to do. I was open to new things. I'm glad that I really didn't have any expectations. I had no idea what I was getting into. And I really am glad that I didn't, because I had nothing to be disappointed about. It was such an incredible experience.
Awesome. When you were doing your remote internship, what was the kind of work that they had you do that way, since you weren't like physically there able to kind of, help with all the different areas?
Yeah, it was similar because a lot of what I did was on the computer. So I was able to, like the genealogist that they have, the professional genealogist, I did, they were just trying to promote a new collection of memorial cards that they had received. And so she had me find 6 names from the memorial list. And then just from the information on that list, she wanted me to research that person and find out all that I could from birth to death. And so the only information they had was where they were buried and a death year, at least, sometimes a spouse. Anyway, so on the computer, I could do this remotely. I just did all of my family history research, and then I wrote research report and biographies and little vignettes on all of them. So that was easy. And I also this was really interesting. They had a collection, I guess, over the years of what they call pedigree rolls. And they were rolls of pedigrees, like when you think of maybe butcher paper or poster board, or paper, how it's rolled up. People had made their pedigrees, their family pedigrees on those rolls. One of them was over 60 feet long.
Oh my gosh.
So they had one of their volunteers there that was imaging these, and they're beautiful. They're artistic. Some were typed, some were written. And so what I did is I took those images and indexed that information and put it on my software in a pedigree, which was incredible. It was not what I expected, because they had the pedigree rolls had information about the families that linked them. I had one that went back to William the Conqueror, and just a lot of different information that was really, really interesting to learn about these people. And somebody was interested enough back in the 1800s or whatever to put save all this information on their families. It was very interesting.
Oh my gosh, and so fun. I can tell that you love what you're learning.
Definitely, yes.
So how do you feel your internship has prepared you for what you're currently doing? Are you seeking opportunities to do consulting? Like, tell us a little bit about your situation now that you've graduated and how you feel your internship has prepared you for that.
I'm kind of in a funny position right now because I don't absolutely have to go to work. And so I really wanted to see what they do at FamilySearch. And so I talked with Fritz, who is in charge of the family history library, and I'm actually going to do another internship, and that may turn into a paid internship. He's trying to find money, but so I'm volunteering again to be able to go to help people with their research, and I'll be doing workshops and be mostly preparing to get my accreditation while I'm training and doing that. So I feel like my internship it really helped me to realize that I don't want to sit on a computer and research all day long. I want to help people. And I was able to see at the society, they do have people that come in, they're members that come in and use the computers, and then they can have help there. And I thought that I wanted to do research, but after seeing that I don't want to be a computer all the time, I do want to help people, I thought that the FamilySearch experience would be really great to just build that. And then, the dream would be to work there. I know it's super hard to get on at FamilySearch, but that's kind of where I'm heading, is to do some sort of teaching, helping people, and with research as well, because I do love the research.
Yeah, it's just so interesting to me because I feel that internships provide clarity about
Mhm.
the direction, right? Like you think that it's going to look and be a certain way for you after you're finished with an experience, but that's what an experience does, is it gives you more knowledge and understanding of something. So the fact that you know now, I really want the people part of FamilySearch. Now you get to figure out, does that mean clients sitting next to me while we do it, or helping them do it themselves, or working with teams of people where we meet regularly? And now you get to figure out, well, what does that mean, right? And those internships are
Yeah.
helping you do that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like that was a huge part of my internship was figuring out what I wanted to do. The teachers, the professors would always ask me, what do you want to do? And I either changed my tune all the time or just said, I don't know. So I really feel like I have a direction now.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was completely from doing these internships. So
Yeah, and it sounds like you gave yourself permission to be flexible in that space, because I think that there's this huge, I don't know, misinformation or misunderstanding that you have to know what you're going to do, and I'm finding that embracing that ambiguity of I'm not really sure actually helps, and then having the experience provides the clarity, and then you can say, oh, I've had this experience, so now I know, because before I didn't know what I didn't know.
yes, I completely agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, Pam, as we kind of wrap this up, what advice do you have for students who are looking for internships or are still just trying to figure out what they want to do with their degree?
You know, I think that I don't know why anyone would not want to do an internship, to be honest with you. I was really blessed and I know they have internships all over the world, but I was blessed and to be able to go to England. I wanted to do that all my life. And they have money everywhere. They kept saying, apply for money, apply for money. I don't know if I should share this, but I was granted $4,500 to be able to go and do that. And so, I was paid to go to England and work. So, so I would tell anybody, look at the possibilities and then do what they tell you to do. There's money out there. And I feel like, as we talked before, that it was a huge predictor, I guess, of a direction, giving me a direction of where I wanted to go, which I wouldn't have had that. I would have been so sad. I know a lot of the girls that graduated just went right into work, and I actually had an offer that I could have just done the research and decided to do the internship instead. I am so grateful for that, because I don't think I would have been happy doing what I thought I might want to do. So I think that is a huge thing. I also feel like I learned beyond anything that I could have in class. It's just different being there and actually doing the work and seeing all the other aspects of what's involved in family history or in my area. And so I just think it shifted my paradigm of where I was going and the availability of records and options for an occupation. And so I would say to anyone that was wondering, oh my goodness, do it. do it. It was fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you so much for being here and being willing and available to talk to our students about the value of experiential learning as a preparation for what happens after you're finished with school. I just think that it's amazing, and I wish you the best of luck in this next internship and your goal to work at FamilySearch. Just keep telling people what you want and keep talking to people. Right? Spread the word, everyone. Get this woman a job. She's awesome.
Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. Thank you so much.